Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Amy. Thank you so much for watching. So today's video is all about manifesting love, manifesting your ideal relationship, manifesting that connection, that loving relationship that we all want, whether people say they do or not. We are wired to want love and belonging. It's totally normal and human. It's just sometimes our past and our baggage gets in the way of that, and we start to feel like we'd be better off without one, or create because of pain, past pain. So I'm going to go through some things that, well, all the things that worked for me when I was a massive relationship saboteur. I had crippling anxiety in my relationships. They would never last. I was constantly on edge, looking for evidence that he might not like me anymore, or that he was cheating, or all this stuff. And it just led to me being very unhappy in my relationships, really, and not relaxed and in love like I really, really wanted. And through a process of, maybe the last few years, really working on myself, becoming a holistic mindset coach, and doing the stuff that I'm going to talk to you through in this video today, has totally transformed my life and my relationships, and helped me manifest my dream relationship with my beautiful partner of 4 years now. So I'm going to go through what I did in a brief detail for this video. There are going to be sections that I'll talk about where I can direct you to another video that will go into more detail on that aspect. But I've come up with, let's say, 4 main things, okay? The first one, you've probably heard this before if you are open to mindset, if you've been doing a bit of research, you've been struggling in your relationships, you really want to heal, you want to grow and flourish in your relationship, to flourish, and you probably have come across this before, to learn to love yourself. Now, it used to annoy me when people would say that, or I'd hear it on video or read it in a book, because I'd be like, how? What does that even mean? I think I love myself. Yeah. And so I'm going to break this down for you in another video. But for me, loving yourself is really about accepting those parts of you that are maybe not so great, or that you're currently judging. So this might be a reactive part of you. Maybe you get really angry. For me, I know that I used to really shame and hate the part of me that was an anxiety, the fear, the anxiety, the worry, the checking. I used to hate that. I used to hate that I would cry. I felt like I was too sensitive. Um, you know, so learning to love yourself is really about doing the inner work and starting to accept that you are human, and these things that you might be judging as lovable are actually probably totally okay to somebody else, and they love you despite that, or because of it even. So the journey to loving yourself starts with you accepting the shadow, the parts of you that right now you find it hard to accept. And how you can do this is going into a little bit more detail. So check out my video. The link is below the video to the loving yourself one, and I'll go into a little bit more detail in that. But I talk about reparenting, which is a psychotherapy technique kind of, and a holistic coaching technique where you basically start to parent your inner child. We all have an inner child within us, and you start to give that what it needs, because what we are doing in our relationships is we are looking for those needs to be met by someone else. And when we can learn to do that for ourselves, we feel that inner sense of love and compassion, and then that radiates out, and we can then attract that love back from somebody else. Compassion for yourself, notice those thought patterns, notice the reactive behavior, and rather than fight it, judge yourself, beat yourself up for it, start to be okay with it, and start to recognize you are human. It is normal. We all do it on some level, in some way, for ourselves. You're not on your own. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just on a journey, and you're figuring that out right now. The next step is to change the story. So this does link into loving yourself, where one of the steps to loving yourself is really about deconditioning and healing those blocks and that baggage that you're carrying around from your past relationships, from your upbringing. And this is all about changing that story and changing the perspective, which admittedly can be quite hard on your own. If you'd like my help with that, there's contact details below as well. You can book a call. But it is about recognizing that you're not just this one being. You have a multitude of parts, and all these parts are attached to different experiences, and they've made up stories about how things are and how you are. I'm not good enough. I'm unlovable. You know, these kind of stories, they're not real. They're just a story that our ego has made up based on a past experience. And actually, when we look back at that past experience from an adult perspective, from a fresh perspective, we can change that perspective and see that, okay, I can see how I felt that way and thought that way, but what if that's not true? What if actually that person felt this and da 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 da? And then you can take away that shame and that baggage that you're carrying around, and then you can step into knowing yourself and feeling wonderful about who you are, sharing that with the world, and trusting that the right person is going to love all those things too. And if they don't, you value yourself enough to be like, well, you're not right for me, and you don't take it personally. And that is really the deep work that needs to be done. But it's necessary. Then those of you that might not have heard of it, follow your human design. So if you haven't heard of it, again, I urge you to do some research or get in contact. But this is basically a combination of astrology and other things that has come up with a map, if you like, of your sort of destiny and your design. And it might be woo-woo for some of you, but for me, learning about my human design and the intel has been completely life-changing. Admittedly, when I met my partner, I didn't know about it, but I can see how when that happened, I was following my strategy and authority. And so you do need to do this for love. This is how it will work for you. Some people are designed to be able to go out there and inform and initiate a relationship, and other people have to wait to be invited into someone's experience. So if you haven't heard anything about human design, have a little look if you're curious. That will help. It's not necessary, but I think it's beneficial, which is why I wanted to bring it up in this video. And then lastly, I've got some practical action steps that you can take. So romance yourself. This also ties into loving yourself. There's a theme here. This loving yourself properly really does work. But this is where you just treat yourself romantically, how you want to be treated. You know, kind words, physical affection. Maybe you treat yourself to a candlelit bath. Maybe you buy yourself flowers. These are all things that I did for myself to nourish and nurture myself. And then what you give to yourself, you then attract. So it also puts you in that vibration of being romanced and knowing that you know it's sensual and caring for yourself and stuff like that. You're putting all that energy out there to come back to you. Meditation. So on my page there's also a manifesting meditation you can do. There's many out there. You know, just being still. When you meditate, maybe visualizing the type of relationship that you want. So I didn't really visualize a face, but I visualized an energy. I visualized being held. You know, for me, I really wanted that tactile touch. I visualized sort of being picked up and cuddled, being kissed on the forehead before I went to sleep. You know, just little things. And your human design can tell you whether you are a specific or non-specific manifester. But just getting into the energy of what that will feel like and visualizing it and feeling it. You've probably heard that one before. The next step is to start acting like you live with them already. So if you have a double bed, making sure that you sleep on one side of the bed, maybe clearing a few drawers out so that they can have some stuff there. You know, just start moving around your house and acting as if you live there with your life partner. That's something that I did that I think worked for me too. And another thing is a little bit more linked to feng shui, but not having any mirrors facing the bed is helpful, because when you have a mirror, it's doubling your energy. So if you can see yourself in your bed, then you're doubling the energy, so somebody's already there. And romantic colours and images in the bedroom. So for our bedroom, I did a line painting of two bodies and some hearts. So, you know, not having anything too energetic and stuff in your bedroom. You want it to be romantic. You can use sort of rose and pinks and stuff in there. It, you don't have to go crazy. Just as touches, it just brings romance energy into the bedroom, and just making sure that you don't have any I was going to say spiky plants. Kind of like this one. This one's kind of got a little bit rounded edges, but in the bedroom or in certain areas wherever you might have a spiky plant, it kind of wants you to step back out again. I guess that one's not really relevant. Kind of rambling now, but they're the best sort of action steps that you can take now to really manifest this. And then lastly, it's recover. If you are someone that struggles with anxiety like I did, you have fear, worry, overthinking in your relationship, maybe you're analysing your body shape, maybe you've got some emotional eating habits or eating disorder type habits, all this can come off the back of being in fear, and then you questioning, okay, well, if I change my outside, or if I'm good enough outside, then I'll be loved, and it's all on the outside, and what you really need to do is heal the inside, and really get actually some anxiety recovery. So I have a program for relationship anxiety recovery as well. So if you want to find out more about that, just drop me an email. And again, there is also another video that goes into that in more detail that you can watch as well. Just the steps that you need to take to actually be able to recover from the anxiety or the worry, which is actually too much fear hormone, which is completely reversible, as I did as well. So I can help you with that. I hope you have a lovely journey. It might feel hard now, but just trust that you are on this path. Relationships are so challenging, but they're challenging because they help us grow and they help us to know ourselves, and we need them. And I promise you, you will find and create that wonderful love that you want. All it takes is that determination to figure out, and the willingness to work on yourself and let go of some of those blocks. I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching, guys.